What if I told you that procrastination has almost nothing to do with laziness? For years, you probably blamed yourself. Maybe you've called yourself lazy, undisciplined, unmotivated. But what if your brain has been lying to you all along? It's 9 p.m. You sit down at your desk, open your laptop, and tell yourself something you've probably said 100 times before. Tonight is different. Tonight, you're finally going to start the assignment that's been sitting untouched for days. The business idea you've been talking about for months. The workout you've promised yourself since Monday. The blinking cursor waits. 5 seconds pass. Then, your phone vibrates. I'll just check one notification. One notification becomes 3. 3 become 10. A quick scroll turns into 20 minutes. 20 minutes become an hour. Before you know it, it's midnight. You close your laptop, exactly the way you opened it. Nothing has changed. Tomorrow, you'll tell yourself the same thing. I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow has a strange way of becoming. Next week, then next month. Eventually, you stop blaming your phone. You stop blaming your schedule. You stop blaming your job. Instead, you blame yourself. Maybe I'm just lazy. But what if that's one of the biggest lies your brain has ever convinced you to believe? Because procrastination isn't simply a bad habit. It isn't a lack of ambition. And surprisingly, it isn't even about laziness. In fact, your brain may believe procrastinating is the smartest decision you can make. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why your own mind keeps working against you and how to finally stop fighting it. We've been told the same story our entire lives. Successful people are disciplined. Unsuccessful people procrastinate. If you really wanted it, you just do it. Simple. At least, that's what we've been taught. But let me ask you something. If procrastination is really laziness, why do people spend hours cleaning their room instead of working? Why do students suddenly decide it's the perfect time to organize their notes? The night before an important assignment? Why do we answer emails, watch productivity videos, rearrange our desks, scroll endlessly through social media, or suddenly remember that the kitchen needs cleaning instead of doing the one thing we actually plan to do? Think about that. You're not doing nothing. You're doing everything except the one thing that matters most. That's not laziness. That's avoidance. And those two things are very different. Here's something even stranger. The people who procrastinate the most are often the people who care the most. The writer who dreams of publishing a book can't bring themselves to write the first page. The entrepreneur with an incredible business idea never launches it. The student who desperately wants good grades keeps putting off studying. The person who genuinely wants to lose weight keeps saying, I'll start next Monday. If they care so much, why don't they act? That question confused psychologists for decades because it doesn't make sense. Unless we've been looking at procrastination the wrong way all along. Before we go any further, I want you to think about something. What's the one thing you've been putting off recently? Not the easiest task, the one that quietly sits in the back of your mind. Every single day, the thing you know would improve your life. If you just start, keep that task in your mind, because by the end of this video, you'll probably understand why you've been avoiding it. And if you're comfortable sharing, tell me in the comments. I'm curious to see how many of us are fighting the same invisible battle. Now here's where everything changes. Thousands of years ago, your ancestors didn't have deadlines. They didn't have university exams. They didn't have job interviews. They didn't worry about replying to emails or building successful careers. Their biggest challenge was staying alive. Every single day, their brain had one job: keep them safe. That was it. Find food, avoid danger, stay alive long enough to see tomorrow. And here's the fascinating part. Your brain is still running much of that same ancient software today. The world has changed, but your survival system hasn't. Imagine two voices living inside your mind. One voice thinks about the future. It dreams. It plans. It imagines the person you could become. It wants a promotion, the healthier body, the successful business, the better life. But there's another voice, a much older one. It doesn't care about your dreams 5 years from now. It cares about surviving today, comfort today, safety today. That ancient voice doesn't ask, will this make my future better? It asks, could this make me uncomfortable right now? That single question changes everything, because your brain doesn't just avoid physical danger. It also tries to avoid emotional discomfort. And that's exactly where procrastination begins. Think back to the laptop. From the beginning of this video, the document wasn't dangerous. The keyboard wasn't dangerous. The room wasn't dangerous. So what stopped you? That's where the Real story begins. So, what stopped you? Maybe it was the fear of failing. Maybe it was the fear that your work wouldn't be good enough. Maybe you didn't know where to start. Or maybe the task felt so overwhelming that your brain searched for anything easier. Checking your phone, watching another video, making coffee, cleaning your room. Anything that removed the uncomfortable feeling, even if only for a few minutes. Here's the irony. When you procrastinate, your brain feels like it's solved the problem. Not because the work disappeared, but because the uncomfortable emotion disappeared. At least, for now. And that's exactly why procrastination is so powerful. It's rewarding, not in the long term, but in the moment. And our brains have always loved immediate relief. But this isn't even the strangest part. The biggest reason you procrastinate might actually be because you care too much. And once scientists discovered why, it completely changed the way psychologists think about motivation. So, why would caring more make you procrastinate more? At first, it sounds backwards. Shouldn't the people who care the most be the ones who get started first? Not necessarily, because when something matters deeply to you, it also has the greatest power to hurt you. Think about it. If you don't care about a job, getting rejected doesn't feel like much. But if it's your dream job, pressing submit suddenly feels terrifying. Not because sending an application is difficult, but because rejection becomes real. The same thing happens with writing your first book, starting a YouTube channel, launching a business, asking someone out, applying for university. The more something matters, the more emotional risk it carries. And your brain notices that long before you do. It quietly whispers, maybe tomorrow, maybe you're not ready yet, maybe you need a little more research, maybe you should wait until you have more time. Those thoughts sound logical, responsible, even, but underneath them is something much simpler. Your brain isn't delaying the task. It's delaying the emotion attached to the task. That realization changed how psychologists began thinking about procrastination. It's less about poor time management and far more about emotional management. The work isn't always what we're avoiding. We're avoiding uncertainty, embarrassment, failure, judgment, frustration, the possibility that our effort won't be enough. And for a few moments, scrolling your phone feels much safer than facing those emotions. Now here's the trap. That temporary relief comes at a hidden cost. The task doesn't disappear. It follows you while you're eating, while you're watching a movie, while you're trying to sleep. It sits quietly in the back of your mind, waiting. The relief you've felt from avoiding it slowly transforms into guilt, then stress, then anxiety. Ironically, the thing your brain was trying to protect you from becomes even bigger. That's why procrastination feels like quicksand. The longer you stay still, the harder it becomes to move. So, how do you escape? Most people try to fight their brain. They tell themselves, I just need more discipline. I need to stop being lazy. I need more motivation. But if you've been paying attention, you already know why that doesn't work. You can't solve an emotional problem with self-criticism. Imagine trying to calm a frightened child by yelling at them. It doesn't work. The child doesn't suddenly become calmer. They become more afraid. Sometimes we do exactly that to ourselves. Every time we procrastinate, we pile guilt on top of discomfort, and that only makes starting even harder. So instead of asking, how do I force myself to work? Ask a different question. What feeling am I trying to avoid? That one question changes everything, because once you identify the emotion, you stop fighting a mystery. You finally know what you're dealing with. But understanding the problem is only half the battle, because knowing why you procrastinate doesn't automatically help you stop. The real breakthrough comes when you learn how to work with your brain instead of against it. And that's exactly what we'll uncover next. So, what can you actually do? Here's something you can try the very next time you catch yourself procrastinating. Don't tell yourself to finish the task. Tell yourself to begin, not for an hour, not even for 30 minutes. Just for 2. Open a document. Write 1 sentence. Read 1 page. Put on your running shoes. That's it. Why? Because your brain isn't usually resisting the work itself. It's resisting the beginning. Think back to standing at the edge of a cold swimming pool. The hardest part isn't swimming. It's stepping into the water. Once you're in, your body adjusts. Work often feels the same. Starting creates momentum. And momentum is something motivation can never replace. There's another mistake many of us make. We wait until we feel ready. But confidence rarely arrives before action. It usually arrives because of action. Every confident speaker once stumbled through their first presentation. Every successful business owner once doubted themselves. Every skilled artist once stared at a blank page. They didn't begin because they felt fearless. They became confident because they began anyway. That's a lesson your brain often forgets. Comfort feels safe, but growth almost never begins inside comfort. So let's go back to where we started. It's 9 p.m. You're sitting in front of your laptop. The cursor is blinking. Your phone vibrates. That little voice returns. You can always do it tomorrow. This time, don't argue with it. Don't hate yourself for hearing it. Just recognize it. That's your ancient survival system, trying to keep you comfortable. Thank it for doing its job, and then open the document anyway. Not because the fear disappeared, but because you've learned something your brain hasn't. Discomfort isn't always danger. Sometimes it's the doorway to everything you've been working toward. Before this video, you may have believed procrastination meant you were lazy. Now you know something different. Your brain wasn't trying to ruin your future. It was trying to protect you from temporary discomfort. The problem is the life you want exists on the other side of that discomfort. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," pause, take 1 slow breath, then ask yourself, what emotion am I avoiding right now? That single question might change the way you work, the way you learn, the way you build relationships, and maybe even the direction of your life. Because your future isn't shaped by the days you feel motivated. It's shaped by the moments you choose to act, even when comfort is calling you back. If this video changed the way you think about procrastination, I'd genuinely love to know what resonated with you most. Share your thoughts and comments. I read every one of them, and your experiences often inspire future documentaries. And if you're curious about the hidden psychology behind the everyday behaviors that quietly shape our lives, subscribe to The Hidden Side. Every week, we uncover the ideas most people never stop to question. Until next time, stay curious. And remember, your brain's first instinct isn't always the one that serves your future.